Ladies and gentlemen, today's title may appear provocative, even absurd at first glance. Yet within its starkness lies an urgent challenge for self-reflection. To clarify, this is not about neglect or cruelty. It's about shifting misplaced focus. Too often, we live in a world obsessed with validation and approval. Today, I will argue that it is time for individuals, both men and women, to realign their attention inward, developing strength, character, and competence first before external approval takes precedence. Modern society is plagued by an overwhelming need for constant validation, a force that has seeped into every corner of our daily lives. Whether through social media, workplace environments, or romantic pursuits, too many people have tethered their self-worth to the opinions and reactions of others. This phenomenon is not new, but it has intensified in our digital age. Every like, comment, or fleeting compliment becomes a symbolic currency that many use to measure their value. But such a system is inherently flawed, because it places the control of our self-esteem in the hands of others. It is like building a fragile house atop sand, vulnerable to collapse at the first sign of disapproval or rejection. Consider the cost of this constant external focus: anxiety, insecurity, and an endless cycle of comparison. The moment we measure ourselves against others, we begin a futile race with no finish line. Someone will always be more attractive, more successful, or more charismatic. Chasing external validation is akin to being perpetually thirsty. No amount of water will ever truly quench your desire because the underlying source of fulfillment is absent. Furthermore, this mindset reduces individuals to performers rather than authentic human beings. Instead of living out our values or pursuing our personal missions, we become actors on a stage, adjusting our behavior, words, or ambitions to fit the expectations of an ever-shifting audience. This hollows out the core of our identity, leaving us with a profound sense of emptiness and confusion about who we truly are. True confidence, real, unwavering confidence, does not come from applause or approval. It is cultivated internally by the hard work of self-improvement. Imagine a person who spends hours perfecting a skill, mastering a craft, or learning from their mistakes. They do not require applause because they know, deep within, that they have earned their own respect. And when you respect yourself, external validation becomes irrelevant. You no longer live in fear of rejection or disapproval because your value is not at the mercy of anyone else's opinion. To step out of the trap of external validation is not easy. It requires a conscious effort to shift focus inward and prioritize self-worth over external perception. Yet those who make this shift find liberation, a freedom from the endless cycle of performance and approval seeking. They find peace in knowing that their value is self-determined, grounded in authenticity rather than the fleeting whims of others. Purpose is one of the most powerful forces available to any individual. It is the invisible compass that guides our decisions, fuels our ambitions, and provides meaning even in times of hardship. Without a clear sense of purpose, life becomes a series of aimless, disconnected events. Many drift through their days, reacting to circumstances rather than creating them. They are tossed around by the winds of external pressures, never fully grounded in a vision for their future. Purpose, when firmly established, acts as a stabilizing force that transforms how we engage with the world. It gives direction to our energy and provides clarity amid life's inevitable chaos. Yet purpose alone is not enough. Purpose must be paired with self-mastery, the ability to cultivate discipline, perseverance, and skill in service of that purpose. Self-mastery is not a state that can be achieved in a day or a week. It is the product of small, deliberate efforts repeated consistently over time. It is developed through moments of discomfort when we resist the temptation to take the easier path and instead choose the one that strengthens us. The true mastery requires confronting our weaknesses and failures head-on, not with despair or resignation, but with the resolve to improve and grow. Discipline lies at the heart of self-mastery. It is easy to act when we feel motivated or inspired, but self-mastery demands that we act regardless of how we feel. Those who have mastered themselves do not rely on fleeting emotions to determine their actions. They rise early not because they enjoy doing so, but because it aligns with their purpose. They continue working long after others have stopped because they know their goals are worthy of the effort. Over time, this discipline becomes second nature, a deeply ingrained habit that serves as a foundation for success. However, self-mastery is not solely about physical discipline or work ethic. It also encompasses mastery of the mind. This means developing resilience in the face of adversity, learning to silence self-doubt, and cultivating an unshakable belief in one's capacity for growth. The mind is often the greatest obstacle to self-mastery. Fear, insecurity, and negative self-talk can cripple even the most ambitious dreams if left unchecked. But those who have achieved mastery understand that they are not at the mercy of their thoughts. They learn to observe their fears without being controlled by them. They practice mindfulness and self-awareness, gaining the ability to redirect their thoughts toward those that empower rather than weaken them. When purpose and self-mastery are combined, they create a powerful synergy. Purpose provides the why that drives us forward, while self-mastery supplies the how that ensures our success. Together, they allow individuals to transcend their limitations and achieve their fullest potential. Instead of being mere bystanders in their own lives, they become active creators, architects of their futures. They no longer seek shortcuts or rely on luck. They trust in their own preparation and abilities, knowing that their success is inevitable because it is built on a foundation of purpose-driven action and self-discipline. In this state, the need for external validation dissolves. Those who have mastered themselves are no longer dependent on praise or recognition because their purpose sustains them. They are motivated not by applause, but by the fulfillment of living in alignment with their deepest values. Purpose and self-mastery together lead to a life of authenticity, fulfillment, and true accomplishment. The kind of life that is not swayed by the opinions or expectations of others. Authenticity is the foundation of all meaningful relationships. Yet, in a world that increasingly rewards appearances over substance, many people have lost touch with what it means to be truly authentic. Too often we find ourselves presenting curated versions of who we are, filtered through social expectations, insecurities, or a desperate need for approval. This tendency to hide or manipulate aspects of our identity creates relationships that are fragile, shallow, and ultimately unsatisfying. Without authenticity, any connection we build is based on illusion rather than truth. Authenticity begins with self-awareness. To be authentic with others, we must first be honest with ourselves about who we are, what we value, and what we truly want from life. Yet this level of self-honesty can be difficult because it often involves confronting uncomfortable truths. We may have to admit that we are not as confident, accomplished, or emotionally secure as we would like to be. But it is only by acknowledging these realities that we can begin to live authentically. When we present ourselves to the world without masks or pretense, we invite others to connect with us on a deeper, more genuine level. However, authenticity is not simply a matter of being yourself in an unfiltered or impulsive way. It also requires responsibility. Authentic people do not act recklessly under the guise of just being honest. Instead, they temper their honesty with empathy and respect for others. Authenticity means communicating openly while also being sensitive to how our words and actions impact those around us. It is a balance between standing firm in our identity and remaining considerate of the needs and feelings of others. True authenticity is tested most in moments of vulnerability. In many relationships, there is an unspoken fear of being fully seen. We worry that if we reveal our flaws, insecurities, or weaknesses, we will be judged or rejected. But vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to courage. To expose our true selves is to say, "This is who I am, flaws and all." When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we give others permission to do the same. This mutual exchange of openness and trust is what transforms ordinary interactions into deep, lasting bonds. On the other hand, relationships built on inauthenticity are often fraught with tension and insecurity. When we present a false version of ourselves, we are constantly burdened with the fear of being found out. This anxiety can lead to resentment, distance, and a breakdown of communication. Furthermore, even if others are drawn to the persona we project, the connection they feel is not with our true selves, it is with the facade. And because no facade can be sustained indefinitely, these relationships are bound to unravel over time. Authentic relationships also foster growth. When we are surrounded by people who see us for who we truly are, we are more likely to feel supported in our efforts to evolve and improve. Authentic connections create safe spaces for honest feedback, accountability, and encouragement. They allow us to be challenged in a way that is constructive rather than critical. Conversely, relationships that lack authenticity often stagnate because they are based on avoidance rather than openness. Without the willingness to be honest and vulnerable, there can be no meaningful progress or deepening of connection. Another essential aspect of authenticity is respect for boundaries. Authentic individuals do not manipulate or control others to meet their own needs. They understand that true connection can only occur when both parties have the freedom to express themselves fully. They communicate their needs and expectations clearly while also respecting the autonomy of others. Inauthentic relationships, by contrast, are often marked by power struggles and manipulation, tactics that erode trust and prevent genuine intimacy. In the end, authenticity is not about perfection. It is about honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to show up as our true selves. When we approach relationships with this mindset, we create connections that are resilient, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Authenticity allows us to be seen, known, and loved, not for who we pretend to be, but for who we truly are at our core. Start ignoring women does not mean turning our backs on connection, love, or relationships. It means ignoring the societal obsession with shallow approval and focusing on our deepest virtues. Develop your mind, your character, and your strength first. Only then can you truly connect with others. Thank you.